Welcome to the Smart Podcast.
Yeah.
Today we're diving deep into a book called OEONA.
Which translates to From a Different Angle.
Yeah, by Muhammad Ghanaim.
It's a really fascinating look at success and envy and how to actually live a fulfilling life.
Have you had a chance to look at it?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It really challenges how we usually think of success. Like it goes beyond money or fame.
Right.
And really digs into like inner peace and spiritual growth being just as important.
It reminds me of that saying like money can't buy happiness, but it's almost like this book goes deeper.
Exactly. It's about true fulfillment.
Right.
You know, there's this story he tells about this really successful businessman who had achieved so much financially, but still felt this emptiness inside.
Like something was missing.
Exactly.
It really makes you think like, what does success actually mean to me?
Right. Is it about what other people think? Or is it about something deeper? Like, are you living in line with your own values? Do you have a sense of inner peace?
It's so easy to fall into that comparison trap.
Oh, totally. Especially these days with social media.
Yeah, you're constantly bombarded with these perfect highlight reels.
Exactly. And the book really dives into that whole idea of envy.
Like how it affects us.
Yeah. How comparing ourselves to others can make us feel inadequate or dissatisfied, even when we've achieved great things ourselves.
Yeah, there's that story about the Olympic medalist
Oh, right. Even she.
who still felt inferior to another athlete.
It's amazing how envy can creep in at any level of success.
Yeah, no matter what you've accomplished.
Right. And what's interesting is that the book talks about different types of envy, like depressive envy and hostile envy.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, depressive envy can actually be a motivator.
Really?
Yeah, it can push you to improve. Like seeing someone else succeed can make you want to achieve something similar.
So it could actually be positive in a way.
Exactly. But then there's hostile envy. That's the kind that's really destructive. It leads to resentment and bitterness and can even make you want to tear others down.
So how do we combat those negative feelings of envy?
Well, the book offers some practical strategies, a lot of them rooted in Islamic teachings.
Okay.
One of the biggest things is gratitude, focusing on what you have rather than what you lack.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure. But the book actually suggests some specific practices, like keeping a gratitude journal.
Interesting. What kind of things would you write in it?
Well, not just listing things you're grateful for, but focusing on actions, like kind things others have done, or good deeds you've accomplished.
That's a good idea. It shifts your focus to the positive.
Exactly. And there's this great story in the book about an envious neighbor who learns a valuable lesson about counting his blessings. It really illustrates how focusing on what we have can lead to contentment.
Yeah, that reminds me of that saying, like, happiness is not about having what you want, it's about wanting what you have.
Exactly. It's about appreciating what you already have.
And that ties into the Islamic perspective on envy as well, right? Like seeking refuge in God and wishing well for others.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that true abundance comes from a heart filled with gratitude and goodwill towards others.
Not just from material possession.
Exactly.
Mm.
The book also talks about sleep, which is something we often overlook.
Oh, definitely. Especially when we're striving for success.
Right. It's like we wear our lack of sleep as a badge of honor.
Totally. But this book reminds us how important sleep is for our well-being.
For both our physical and mental health.
Yeah, it made me think of that book, Why We Sleep.
By Matthew Walker.
Yeah, he talks about all the scientific evidence for why sleep is so essential.
It's amazing how much sleep deprivation affects us. Like our cognitive function,
Our mood,
our immune system.
even our risk for diseases.
It's not just about feeling tired, it's about our overall health.
It's like we're running on fumes thinking we're being productive, but actually we're just hurting ourselves in the long run.
Exactly. And the book, from a different angle, doesn't just point out the problem.
It offers solutions too.
Right. It gives some really practical tips for improving sleep quality. Well, one thing is maintaining a consistent sleep schedule.
Well, that's always a struggle for me.
I know, it's tough, but the book emphasizes aligning our sleep with the natural rhythms of day and night.
So like going to bed earlier.
And waking up earlier.
It's also about creating a relaxing bedtime routine, right?
Exactly, like disconnecting from screens,
Reading a book,
taking a warm bath.
anything to calm your mind and body before sleep.
Right. It's about making sleep a priority, not an afterthought.
And that ties into the book's emphasis on achieving goals through small steps.
Exactly. It's about breaking down those big, daunting goals into manageable chunks.
Like the analogy in the book about climbing a mountain.
You don't reach the summit in one leap. You get there step by step.
One foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of Colonel Sanders. He didn't achieve success with KFC until he was in his 60s.
Wow, that's inspiring.
It shows that persistence and taking those small steps can lead to amazing things.
No matter your age.
Exactly, from a different angle, encourages us to embrace the journey.
To focus on those small steps we can take each day.
And to trust that consistent effort over time will get us there.
It's not about instant gratification.
It's about building something sustainable and meaningful.
So what's one small step you can take today towards a goal you're working on?
That's a great question. It could be anything, even something small that gets you closer to where you want to be. You know, one thing that really stood out to me in the book is this emphasis on morals, like strong moral values.
Yeah, it's like you can achieve all these external goals, but if you don't have integrity and honesty...
Right, if you're not compassionate towards others.
Then is it really success?
Exactly. Like there's this example of a businessman who made a ton of money, but he did it through unethical means.
Oh, man.
He lost everything, his wealth, his reputation.
And most importantly,
his peace of mind.
Yeah, it's a reminder that true success isn't about shortcuts.
It's about doing things the right way.
Building something meaningful.
And that also ties into the idea of forgiveness.
Oh, yeah, forgiving yourself and others.
Exactly. Holding on to anger and resentment just weighs you down.
It's like you're carrying this heavy baggage.
Yeah, forgiveness is about letting go of that baggage.
And moving forward with peace and clarity.
It doesn't mean condoning bad actions, but it's about releasing those negative emotions.
So you can heal and move on.
Right. And the book gives some really practical strategies for cultivating forgiveness.
Like what?
Well, practicing empathy for one. Recognizing our own imperfections.
And choosing to focus on the positive.
Exactly. It's about shifting your perspective.
The book also talks a lot about having a positive mindset.
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
It's like our thoughts really do shape our reality.
There's this story in the book about two people who faced the same challenge.
But they reacted in completely different ways.
One was negative and full of despair.
And the other stayed positive.
And guess what? Their outcomes were totally different.
It's amazing how much our mindset affects things.
It shapes our emotions, our behaviors.
And ultimately our experiences.
So by choosing to focus on the good,
we create a more positive and fulfilling life.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything's perfect.
It's about approaching difficulties with hope and resilience.
From a different angle, encourages us to cultivate optimism, to practice gratitude.
There's that theme again.
And to turn those negative thoughts into more empowering ones.
And it also talks about finding your purpose in life.
Oh yeah, that's essential for true happiness.
Like there's this example of a guy who had achieved all the traditional markers of success.
But he felt empty.
Because his work lacked meaning.
It was just a job.
It's a reminder that it's not just about what you do.
But why you do it.
When your actions are aligned with your values and passions, your work becomes an expression of who you are.
So how do you find your purpose?
Well, the book suggests exploring your interests.
Identifying your strengths.
And thinking about how you can use your talents to make a positive difference.
It's about finding that thing that lights you up inside.
And I love how the book integrates Islamic teachings into all of this. Yeah, it reminds us that true success isn't just about worldly achievements.
It's also about fulfilling our spiritual purpose.
Seeking guidance, practicing gratitude, being kind and compassionate, and striving to live a life of meaning.
It's a beautiful reminder that our faith can guide us on our journey to success.
And it also emphasizes the importance of balance.
Oh, definitely. Balance between work and personal life.
Between material pursuits and spiritual growth.
Between our own needs and our responsibilities to others.
It's about finding that harmony in all aspects of life.
This book really is a gem. It's a guide to living a more fulfilling life.
I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking to find their own path to success.
I agree. It's been so insightful to dive deep into from a different angle.
It's really made us think about what success truly means.
And how to cultivate a more positive and meaningful life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some of the key takeaways that you'll be carrying with you? What resonated most?
For me, it's the reminder that true success is an ongoing journey. It's about aligning our actions with our values, finding inner peace, and trying to make a positive impact on the world.
Beautifully said. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about those small, consistent steps forward, fueled by gratitude and a sense of purpose. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for everything new and useful.